my God, I've been muted the whole time. Okay, well, I've been muted the whole time. Hi. Well, let me redo this. It's going to mess up my green screen, but I brought Hulk with me, and he looks pink because of my green screen. There you go, Hulk. Look, say hi. I'm blocking the light, so it's... There he is. I brought him to say hello to everybody. Hey, ask your bartender. Say hi, Hulk. All right. Yeah, so anyway, while I was on mute, I was going on about I hate being on camera because I spend the whole time I'm supposed to be preparing to go live. I spend the whole time I'm supposed to be preparing to go live, trying to fix the green screen, and then like looking at my hair. My hair's backwards on the camera, so I keep fixing it. Hey, Jill. So it's been driving me crazy for the last hour, but I did do some preparation, so that's a plus. What I was saying was, while I was at work today, I was looking up. Let me take a sip of my Red Bull. I need to drink. My mouth's dry. I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about the Johnny Depp case with a comedian. I forget the lady's name, Jessica something. And they brought up this guy, Doug. Hold on, let me find his name. Doug Stanhope. He's a comedian who... Why do I look white? He's a comedian who is friends with Johnny Depp. And he... If I keep looking to the side, it's because I have a second screen behind me. Let me try and put it more behind my computer so I'm not like looking away all the time. So he's friends with Johnny Depp, and he was friends with him while he was with Amber and throughout their relationship. Let me put my glasses on so I can see this. Throughout their relationship. And he wrote like a expose or like a, spoke out on how he felt about Amber Heard after she went public with everything. And it all kind of like ties everything together and makes a lot of sense why Johnny was recording everything and like his reasoning for stuff. So I'll share it because I know some people like looking at the screen, and I'll read it too. But give me a second. I personally like reading stuff, so I like to share the screen. Okay, so this was in 2016, right after she like filed the restraining order and everything. And she says, and he says, Johnny Depp is being blackmailed by Amber Heard. Here's how I know. Guest column. Actor's friend, comic Doug Stanhope, says that Heard was threatening to lie about him publicly in any and every possible duplicitous way. Duplicitous, I think I said that right. If he didn't agree on her terms. So he kind of like did like a blog post, and it says, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. It's almost 4 a.m. and I can't sleep, not even dozing off. Today, a friend of mine was pilloried? I have no idea how to say that. Hopefully I said that right. In the press for domestic violence, coupled with a picture of his wife with a bruise. He was murdered on social media. I watched it happen and I didn't say a fucking word, even though I knew it was bullshit. We'd watched it build like this since before they were married. We watched her manipulate and fuck with him for years. We didn't say a word to each other. Yes. We didn't say a word to each other, yes, but never to him. So like him and his wife would talk about it, and their friends would talk about it amongst each other, but they never said anything to him. When your friend is in an awful abusive relationship, man or woman. Hey, Pam. You know what? I'll put the StreamYard link too. If anyone wants to come up, you can come up too. Sorry. When your friend is in an awful abusive relationship, man or woman, and you risk weighing in that their counterpart is a demon. She is a demon. You know the odds are they will jump right back into the fire and dump you from their life for being honest. Most of us have been on one or both sides of this coin, choosing to be blinded or removing the people who have clearer eyes that can guide you. The fact that Hollywood and the entertainment industry at large, I don't know what dash F dash. Hey, Colleen. The fact that Hollywood and the entertainment industry at large, something society as a whole, turns a blind eye to domestic violence is abhorrent. But the tides have turned in such a way that the mere allegation that such a crime has occurred leaves the person accused as guilty without due process. My girlfriend Bingo and I have known Johnny Depp for a few years now, and we have watched Amber Heard fuck with him, at least at his weakest, or watched him at his weakest from being fucked with for the entire time we've known him, and we didn't say shit. So it sounds like they knew him just as long as they knew Amber, and they felt this way. Because he's Johnny Depp. And we didn't want to be thrown out of his circle for saying that the emperor was being stripped of his clothes. It isn't my place to name people who agreed with us, but I couldn't name one person closely associated with him that didn't feel the same. But nobody said it to his face. Bingo and I were at Johnny's house for most of that Saturday. So this is the Saturday. He's talking about the Saturday where Josh Drew and Raquel, those, I don't know. I'm nervous to say so, but the people who lived in Johnny's house off his money, with Amber Heard's friend. Bingo and I were at Johnny's for most of that Saturday until just before the alleged assault. We assumed initially that his mood was because of his mother's death the day before. So think about this. His mom literally just died, and I'm pretty sure this was like his kid's birthday or something like that. So like, it's totally fucked up. But anyway. But he opened up in the most vulnerable of ways that it was not only his mother, but that Amber was now going to leave him, threatening to lie about him publicly in any and every way possible, duplicitous way, and if he didn't agree to her terms. Blackmail is what I would imagine, and other people might is what I would imagine other people might put it, including the manner in which he is now being vilified. We stopped not saying shit. Bingo and I together, and then separately, told him how much we were aware of this manipulative asshole, how his closest circle had all agreed on this since the day we met, and that we all feared that telling him outright might alienate us all. Love makes you do funny things. I told him the truth, and I half expected to be asked to leave, but I wasn't seeing Johnny Depp. I saw a naked emperor, and we told him to get dressed. Other people came in and out during this afternoon, all verifying that we've been cowardly, saying things only behind his back for so long. He seemed dumbstruck that nobody had ever come clean about this, and he thanked everyone for being honest. He still pronounced his love for Amber, but was presciently aware that she was going to pull off some kind of ruse to fuck him over. He hadn't slept in days with anxiety. You'd call him a paranoid if you didn't know better, but he knew better, and he was right. As he finally felt that he could sleep, we left him. From what we now read in the news, later that night, the police were called to his house for a domestic dispute, finding no criminal act had occurred and no signs of physical abuse. The police left. Everything Johnny had told us that she'd been threatening had actually come to be. It blew up in the news, raced through the internet like a plague, and blew up on Twitter like it was the McMartin child abuse scandal. People are swarming with torches on social media. I watched it all happen ahead of time, and I watched it come to fruition today, and I haven't been able to sleep again because I didn't say shit to defend him. Why? Because I felt like in defending him, I would just come across as a psychopath trying to attach myself to a sensationalized story in order to further my career. A latter-day Cato Caitlin. And now, as the sun is coming up, I realize not saying shit to defend him is far worse crime of ego. To leave a friend hanging so you don't look like a suck-up. I, and the we that were there, aren't suck-ups or apologists. We were witnesses. I didn't jump into the fray because I was weak. It was because I didn't want to look like a name dropper. I'll name drop now. Johnny Depp is my friend. But any one of my friends will tell you, I always call them out on their bullshit. Abusing women is bullshit. Johnny doesn't abuse anyone. And he told me that day, ahead of the time, that she'd pull some kind of shit like this. Johnny Depp got used, manipulated, set up, and made to look like an asshole. And he saw it coming and didn't or couldn't do anything to stop it. He may never talk to me again for saying it, but I never forgive myself for not coming to his defense out of fear or ego. I stand up for my friends, and I tell the fucking truth. I think that's it. So anyway, he released that not long after she went public with everything. And then she tried to sue him over it. Let me see. She tried to sue him. And then Johnny got her to drop the lawsuit. In like divorce proceedings, I guess he gave her something else that she wanted. Something like that. Amber Heard has dropped her lawsuit against Johnny Depp's friend Doug Stanhope. Heard filed a defamation lawsuit against the comedian in June after he accused her of blackmailing Depp and lying about the actor's alleged domestic abuse in an article posted to his website and later published by TheWrap.com. Now, just 3 weeks after Heard and Depp reached a settlement in their divorce, people confirmed that the actress has dropped the defamation suit against Stanhope. Stanhope's attorney, David Gringus, tells People that Heard and his client did not reach any agreement to settle the case. Furthermore, Gringus says that no money was exchanged between Heard and Stanhope and that there is no confidential agreement between them. Gringus adds that he has not been in contact with Stanhope since the lawsuit was dropped and says that given the comedian's busy schedule, I'd be surprised if he even knows anything about the conclusion of the case. Oh, hey, 3-boy mom. Oh, you got a new kitten? They just dropped a kitten in on you. Well, that's exciting. I like baby animals. Actually, I spend like all day watching cockatoos and like baby animals on on TikTok. I've been watching these hawks that are like filmed in their nest, and the mom hawk disappeared, and the dad's like desperately trying to take care of them, and it's like the cutest thing ever. Like, he, like, tries to climb on them and keep them warm, but he can't figure out how to do it. He has to, like, learn how to feed them and stuff. It's pretty adorable. That's what I spent my time doing. Yeah, I needed that like I needed a hole in my head, but here we are. Yeah, you know you're going to be stuck with taking care of it, too. You know, that's just how it goes. Whenever the kids or the husband bring something home, mom gets the responsibility. The actress called the hold on, sorry, I skipped like 2 paragraphs. According to the attorney, the dismissal was negotiated as a part of a larger deal between Miss Heard and her ex-husband, Johnny Depp. Doug Stanhope is one of Johnny Depp's closest friends, and it appears that Johnny was able to convince Amber to drop the lawsuit against Doug as part of a global resolution of their divorce. Gringus also notes that the case was dismissed without prejudice, meaning that Heard could refile the lawsuit within 1 year of the date that Stanhope's article was first published. As far as we know, Ms. Heard has no plans to refile the case against Mr. Stanhope, but that option remains available to her. In her initial court filing, Heard claimed that Stanhope orchestrated a plot to write an article which was published at TheWrap.com, which falsely accuses plaintiff Amber Heard of blackmail and other criminal behavior towards her husband, Johnny Depp, from whom she is seeking a divorce. The actress called the claims completely false and defamatory, and that they have caused her tremendous harm. Stanhope, I guess. Oh, in a subsequent interview with Howard Stern, Stanhope clarified his defense of Depp, who he alleged was used, manipulated, and set up by Heard. I put it on my website. The title was At a Loss for Words. Whatever it was, Stanhope explained. The Rap got it as an exclusive, or however that worked, and said Amber Heard is blackmailing Johnny Depp. This is how I know. I didn't write that fucking title. Reps for the Rap had not responded to requests for comment. Stanhope told Stern that Depp, a pal of his since 2013, did not put him up to penning his defense, but says he did receive thanks from the Star when the essay made headlines. I had no contact with him until he texted me after that went out, said Stanhope. He said, "Hey, thanks for being honest." He didn't know that was going out. But yeah, that makes total sense why Johnny was recording everything between them, because she basically told him that she was gonna like blackmail him and was threatening it. So it would, like, I was always wondering, like, why the hell were they recording each other, you know? And I thought maybe it was because of their therapist telling them to, but now it kind of thinks like it makes me think he knew that this was happening and that she was going to do it, and it happened that very night after he said something. So, and have you guys? I should play the body cam footage of that particular night. The police showed up. I don't know if they have body cam footage of the first time they went there, but there's body cam. Hey, Kaiser Soze. I love that name. I love that movie. What a great movie. I could play the body cam footage of the set. So they came twice, but the second time, you see, there's like everything looks fine, and they talked to Amber, everything. So I can get that up real quick so you guys can see. But I mean, I don't think they have body cam footage of the first. Like, there was 2 calls that came out, and they went to the house twice. And I don't think. Wait. Ugh, hold on. Let me see if I can turn this down again. There we go. I think that's a little better. Hold on. I could get it. I got it somewhere. Witness list. Oh, if anybody wants to look at evidence, I said this in my last one. There's a website called depdive.net instead of like deep dive, depth dive, and they have everything. They literally have everything. Evidence list info. Hold on. Oh, look, it's what's his name? Keith Richards. I love that guy. You know what really pissed me off? When Amber said that she hated hanging out with Johnny's friends because they're all old and play guitar. Like, I'd give, like, my right arm and both my titties to hang out with fucking Keith Richards. Like, I read his book, and that guy is the craziest motherfucker ever. Like, he's lived the life. For sure. Like, it probably, if there's a book that you want to read where you want to crack up, like literally laugh out loud the whole time, read that. Oh, if anyone hasn't seen this, she submitted this picture of Johnny's like table with cocaine and alcohol, and I think it's so funny because she tried to make it look like it was like all Johnny's drugs, but yet she has like a tampon applicator that's used as a straw. Like, a guy ain't using that as a straw. Like, get the hell out of here. And there's text between her and her sister, where her sister like sends her pictures of like lines of cocaine, making jokes about it. Oh, in this picture, she said that he was holding her down and like beating the crap out of her face. The license is hers? Oh, I didn't even see that. Let me look. Hold up. We can zoom in. It's so small. I can't tell if they're. I would have to get. I wonder if I can Google Amber Heard's signature. Let's see. I mean, Google has everything. They might have her signature. Okay, so that's her signature. I can't tell. It's too hard to tell. Oh, the dog step on the bee TikToks. Oh my gosh, you gotta see this one. Hold on. Wait, give me a second to send it from my phone to my computer so I can play it for you. You guys are gonna die. This is like the cutest thing. Well, I have to play you both, so because they're both cute, but they go together kind of. Give me 1 second. It's gotta be here soon. Here they are. Okay. Let me send them to myself. Copy. They're so funny. So it's like my dog stepped on a bee thing, but there's like a really cute dog that's like making a funny face. And he makes like the same face as Amber. I got it. Okay. I should have that one ready because it was funny. All right, here's the original one.
Oh my goodness. That's a handsome Bobbian in the sun cleaning boards in a Tuesday morning was one.
Hold on. I feel like it's quiet. Wait.
You is? Oh my goodness, I can't.
Okay, what?
Oh my goodness. That's a handsome Bobbian in the sun cleaning boards in a Tuesday morning was one. What a doing? Is you being a handsome Bobbian in the sun cleaning woods? You is? Oh my goodness, I cannot even stand it. I love you.
They made him do like they did like
oh my goodness,
an Elvis, like him singing Elvis. Hold on, you gotta see. And there's
the trailer at some point. My dog.
I got it. Alright, here we go.
Out of the trailer at some point. My dog stepped on a bee. Out of the trailer at some point.
Me in the morning.
My dog stepped on a bee. Out of the trailer at some point.
I don't know why it's so funny, but the little smile cracks me up. Okay, back to what I was doing. Let me find this incident. Audio, video, maybe. Elevator footage, depositions, bathroom incident. No. No. It's not. It's body cam footage. There was like, this looks different than what was on my phone. Hold on. It might be under this. Body cam footage. Ha! I do have it. Hopefully y'all can see this because I don't know if I can. I think this might might just be the audio. I think they just have the audio for the first one, but the second one they have video.
The same call from earlier, or somebody called again? Well, we just did this. When you guys know someone in New York or something? Yeah.
It's not showing up. The video's not showing up. Yeah. So, alright, I'll just explain it to you guys because I don't know why it's not showing up. But if you go on your phone, you should be able to see it. But they go in, so they go up this like elevator that takes them to this like back like stored. It looks like a storage elevator, one of those like what do you call them? Freight elevators. Takes them up. He goes into the apartment, and Josh Drew answers the door like, "Oh, we didn't call again." And they're like, "Well, somebody made, a second call." And they're like, "We need to come in and make sure everything's okay." So they walk in, and like they're turning, so you can see like the kitchen, the walls, nothing's broken. Everything looks perfect. And then he talks to Amber. She's probably like a couple feet away from her. She's on the couch, so she's fine. And like it didn't nothing appeared to be broken or anything like that, and she didn't appear to have any marks on her face. So but I wanted to go into hold on, it's not on here. Let me just go there. Let me turn this off. So I'm going to talk about her personality disorders a little bit. That based on Dr. Curry. I'm going to go with Dr. Curry's assessment because I don't think she has. I mean, she could maybe have PTSD from something else, but I don't think she has PTSD from their relationship. But Dr. Curry said that she has borderline personality disorder, which I don't know if anyone knows anything about borderline personality disorder, but feel free to chime in if you know some things about it. But it says borderline, I'm just reading off a website, so if I sound wrong in anything, I'm not just coming up with this stuff myself. Not enough light by the corner. I know, I don't know how to fix it, so just it's gonna stay like that. I don't know how to get it over by the corner of the mic. Oh, okay, I see it. I have to turn my computer sideways a little bit, so it's just gonna stay like that. Really? Anyway, borderline personality disorder is a mental illness that severely impacts a person's ability to regulate their moods. This loss of emotional control can increase impulsivity, affect how a person feels about themselves, and negatively impact their relationships with others. Effective treatments are available to manage the symptoms of borderline personality disorder. But I imagine if you're, thank you. I imagine if you're doing cocaine and having borderline personality disorder, it's probably twice as bad as it normally would be. Thank you, 3 Boy Mom. People with borderline personality disorder may experience intense mood swings and feel uncertainty about how they see themselves. Their feelings for others can change quickly and swing from extreme closeness to extreme dislike. What do I know about cocaine? Oh, I know a lot about cocaine. No, okay. Well, no, not really, but not anymore. I maybe tried it like once or twice when I was very young and stupid. He's a chem major. Where was I? These changing feelings can lead to unstable relationships and clipped, you're going to jail. Oh, you're going to send it to the police. I don't think they could arrest me for something I did like, I don't even know, what, 10 years ago? 15 years ago, probably. I know you're in med school. So you can. So what do you think then? Do you think. Okay, can you say it against you? I don't care. In med school. So what do you think, Matt? Do you think that she has borderline personality disorder? Hey, Captain Napton. People with borderline personality. Wait, where was I? People with borderline personality disorder also tend to view things in extremes, such as all good or bad. Their interests and values can change quickly, and they may act impulsively or recklessly. Other signs and symptoms may include efforts to avoid real or perceived abandonment. So that's why she was like super crazy about like him leaving her while they were arguing, and she would like start fights with him so that he wouldn't leave her. Apparently she was. I'm glad that you caught one too. Where was I? Sounds like she has some sort of trauma induced by her parents creating an abusive environment, which was encouraged by the nature of Hollywood careers. Yeah. Well, I know her dad like ran like a Jodi Arias. Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that, but I could totally see those parallels for sure. But her dad, I know her dad ran like a. I tried cocaine this one time, but I totally didn't inhale, so I'm good. She is manipulative on steroids. Yeah, super manipulative. A pattern of intense and I was saying her dad ran a freaking dog fighting ring. Like he was arrested for fighting, like running a dog fighting ring, and then she got what's his name's dog, uh, Johnny Depp's dog in the divorce, or their dog, and gave it to her dad. Which, when you run for president. And drugs, and Johnny also being a victim of abuse makes him more likely to get abused. Yeah, he was abused by his mom. It's a common thing that abusers find people that are prone to abuse very easily. It's a spiritual thing. Yeah, well, he even said himself that he felt like he stayed because, yeah, her dad literally ran a dog fighting ring in like the 1980s. There's like an arrest record of it. But even her parents were on Johnny's side. Like when she filed the TRO against him, or it's got like a million names. When she filed that against him, they texted Johnny and apologized and said like, "Oh, she only did that because her lawyer told him." Yeah, her dad ran a dog fighting ring. I've been through so many things on Twitter. Like I've found so much stuff. I might even have took a picture of his arrest record somewhere. I probably have it. If I can find it quickly enough before this live's over, I'll show you guys. Or I could probably find it on like Twitter in like 2 minutes. Twitter's like, I just type in Amber Heard and dog fighting. Sorry if my keys are making a loud noise in my mic. Here it is. Yep. Got it already. Let me share my screen. Okay. Amber Heard's dad jailed for running dog fighting ring, pit bull slayed in bloody death matches. I'm trying to like. In the name and by authority of the state of Texas, Mark Detman, Assistant County Attorney of the County Midland, State of Texas, at the July term, AD 1982, of the County Court of the said county, come on behalf of the state of Texas and in connection with the complaint of Brett Grove herein filed and present, and to the said county court, that in the said county and state, on or about the 29th day of August, AD 1982, and before the making and filing of this information, David Clinton Hurd, hereinafter styled defendant, did and thereby unlawfully, intentionally, and knowingly caused one animal, to wit a dog, to fight with another animal, to wit a dog. Her father ran an illegal dog fighting ring that led to his incarceration. So Radar has obtained criminal court filings from Midland County, Texas, that reveal David Clinton Hurd, who Amber has described of having struggled with alcohol and drug abuse issues his whole life, ran an unspeakable animal abuse ring involving no less than 7 pit bulls on his property of 10 acres of land. Yeah, it's awful. And she gave the dog to her dad. Like, why would you ever give a dog to somebody? Obviously, he doesn't care about dogs if he was totally okay with running a dog fighting ring. Like, what the hell? I think this is just stuff about Amber. Anyway. Let me remove. Yeah, I mean, dog fighting's like one of, besides like doing terrible things to children, that's like on the list of like really fucked up things to do, in my opinion. Alright, where was I? A pattern of intense and unstable relationships with family, friends, and loved ones. A distorted and unstable self-image or sense of self. Impulsive and often dangerous behavior such as spending sprees, unsafe sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, and binge eating. Please note, if these behaviors happen mostly during times of elevated mood or energy, they may be symptoms of a mood disorder, not borderline personality disorder. Yeah. Here, let me get it. You can come up. Anyone gonna come up and shoot the shit with me? I don't know how to pin the link. How do I do that? Do I do that on YouTube? Like, I couldn't find it. But yeah, if anyone wants to come up. I posted the link earlier, but... Oh, here. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's going to mess up my green screen real quick, but I'll show you Hulk again. He's the most judgy lizard ever. Hi, Hulky. My baby. Figured I'd bring him so everyone can see him. Self-harming behavior. Did that link work? Because it said it didn't work on Facebook for some reason, but I think it worked on YouTube. Self-harming behavior such as cutting, reoccurring thoughts of suicidal behaviors or threats, intense... I got you tabbed, but I'm twerking right now. Recurring thoughts of suicidal behaviors or threats, intense and highly variable moods, with episodes lasting from a few hours to a few days. Chronic feelings of emptiness, inappropriate, intense anger, or problems controlling anger.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Okay. No, I just wanted to come for a minute and say something. To me, and Three Boy Mom, I think, said this too, that really speaks to her upbringing, maybe, because, okay, you could be a real POS and do really bad things like rob banks and even beat people up. But if you're like in the business of animal harm, you're like a whole new, you know what I mean? Like that's just a whole nother, um, can of worms, I guess, or
level
whatever. Like,
level
and
of criminal mischief, because it's like,
yeah, it's
robbing somebody or like robbing a bank is like one thing, but literally making innocent dogs like fight to the death and tear each other to shreds is like, it's like disgusting.
because I don't know if a lot, like some people don't really know how bad dog fighting is. Like it's very
It's
bad,
horrible.
and they're like purposely abused to make them more aggressive, and all kinds of stuff happens. I don't even want to get into detail because it's so graphic, but oh,
Yeah.
like that really like, whoa, wait a minute, her daddy was a dog fighter? That's terrible. And then
Yeah,
she
and then
gives
it
the
makes me
dog to
think like
him.
yeah, she got their dog from like her and Johnny's dog. I don't know if it was her and Johnny's or if it was originally Johnny's, but people are saying that it's Johnny's. And
Oh god.
got it in the divorce and gave it to I guess her dad to like have there. Something flying around me. It's like a mosquito.
Ugh,
Yeah, she's
that's
a fucking
terrible.
terrible human being. And like with borderline personality disorder, which is like bad enough, and then histrionic personality disorder plus lots of cocaine. She did. So she admitted in that one recording. She denies it like a lot, but in that recording, she admits that she doesn't admit to doing cocaine, but I think it's obvious she does cocaine because in that picture there's like a tampon applicator on the table, and I'm sorry, but just no guy is going to be like, oh, I need a straw. Let me go in a box of tampons and get the tampon applicator. Like, you know what I mean? Like, guys aren't going to do that. Obviously, it's her straw or she got it. And then there's text between her and her sister. And her sister, like, took a picture of lines of cocaine. I'm pretty sure on that very table because it looks just like that
Ugh,
table. And sent it to her sister, like making jokes about doing lines of cocaine, but she denies doing cocaine. But I think she did, like she did, and she admit that she does Adderall, MDMA, mushrooms,
yeah.
Xanax, and I think there was something else I can't remember. And
Yeah, that
she spent
definitely doesn't mix with mental health.
no, fuck no. And she spent 160,000. She had $160,000 wine bill. I mean, like
So
I'm
she's
sure,
the one who was running up the wine tab. Like,
yeah,
because
hundred
I
and
heard
sixty
about this.
$1,000 worth of wine. That's insane. I mean, I guess there could be like really expensive bottles of wine, but still, it's fucking
Come
unbelievable
on.
amount of money for wine. Like, what the hell? Um,
Like, I have family, like my aunt, her and her husband love wine, and they have like decent money, but they're not rich, like famous rich. And they drink like pricey wine that if I was still drinking, I wouldn't buy, but it's nowhere close to something like that. Like, there's still good wine that's priced a lot cheaper than what probably the contents of that receipt for that price. Like
and a
that's
lot of people are
crazy.
saying, did you see that video where it looks like she's snorting cocaine up on the stand?
No, I haven't followed it super closely, but I'm seeing because remember at first I was going on Queen's panel making jokes about like, I could see Johnny Depp being kind of like a low key manipulator, Michael Long type,
Yeah,
and I could still totally see like that because everybody loves him, and that must be annoying when you're
yeah.
like that's your ex, right? Like, and my husband and I
Having
were,
like the most love guys,
oh
like,
my, I
yeah.
know, dude.
Is your
Like he
ex?
can do no wrong in that courtroom. Like I'm fucking serious, but
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry, you cuss on your
she
panel?
leaves the courtroom and they tear her apart.
Oh my god,
He
yeah.
leaves and they're like screaming and cheering for her and or for him. And then when she leaves, they're
Oh my
like, "You
god.
narcissistic bitch!" Like,
Oh my god. Yeah, but the more I'm seeing about her, like she's day one, like crazy.
Well,
Like,
like what really
whoa.
did it for me is like the fact that she wrote this op-ed basically like saying that she's some it looks like she was afraid. So I want to show you. I don't know where. I have so many things that I've sent to myself that I know I have it somewhere, but I can't see the TikToks. But in a nutshell, at first I thought that maybe she was blowing her nose very like ladylike, trying to look, like not trying to look extra while blowing her nose.
Right.
But then I watched this TikTok of this lady basically saying like, so she was like probably like a couple minutes before Amber sits down and does it, she stands up, right? And she's like meticulously rolling up her sleeve like this, like, very neat, like rolling it up.
Right.
And then the other side, she just kind of like you throws around. And then she sits down and you can see her like fiddling with her arm, right? And then
What?
she's looking down at something. Then she later grabs the tissue and does that. And then they show her face for the rest of like her talking, I guess for like the next like 10 minutes. And she's like her mouth, she had coke jaw, like, like I'm
But the whole
convinced now.
roll, the
I
whole
mean, maybe
rolling up the sleeve motion, though, like
yeah, like,
says to me like IV drug use. Like,
like I was thinking about it too. And I'm like, I know some people would like people who are on drugs, like if you're sitting on that stand for hours and hours and hours, especially if you've done cocaine that day, because like cocaine's like one of them drugs. Like once you do a line, like you want to keep going and
yeah, you
going
want
as
to
far.
keep doing lines, yeah.
Yeah. So like imagine doing that earlier in the day and then being stuck on the stand for hours. Like
Oh,
I could totally see somebody if you have a cocaine addiction, like going for it, and um
oh
if you just like what they did like a TikTok and broke down like all her facial expressions, and she was like licking her lips and moving her jaw all
all
crazy.
jaw
Like
jacked. Oh no.
I wish I had. I wish I know I can find it, but I would have to like go through a bunch of my TikToks. But it's insane. Let me look at this one.
I'll go look for it in a little bit. I'm gonna jump off in a minute, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. But
Either that or I think she might have had like menthol on like a menthol in a tissue and was like blotting it on her face and putting it in her nose to make her cry.
God.
Ain't no shame in buying wine from Aldi. I missed that. Well, her muffin lady. Oh, the muffins was so funny. Yeah, the so her lawyer tried to make it look like, all right. So Dr. Curry, she was like this really good looking psychologist that comes on the stand, a doctor, and um, the lawyer tries to make it like the doctor went over Johnny's house for like dinner and drinks for like a hot date. And she's like, yeah, like I was invited over with like everybody to sit down with his like legal team or whatever. It wasn't dinner. It wasn't like a hot date. Like Amber was there and
Right.
everything. And she asked her husband to get muffins to bring with her, and the lady kept asking her about these muffins, like wouldn't let it go. And she's like, can we just like get over these muffins? We stop talking about the muffins. Her lawyer is a trip for sure.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Three Boy Mom, the clip where she puts like the tissue over her nose and it looks like she does a bump. Hey Matt. Yeah, it was. If you look on TikTok, the girl explain. There's one girl who explains the sleeve Like she goes over the whole
So she was
she
sitting in the courtroom when she was folding the sleeve, right?
yeah, so she stood
That's
up
where the
at the
oh,
stand,
okay.
like during like so she's it was like during her testimony, but I guess she had like a minute where they were discussing something. So she had like a minute to herself and she
Okay.
stood up and like really neatly rolled up this one sleeve. But then the other one she kind of just like, stuffed in there. Like the one she like neatly rolled it up like she stuffed something in her sleeve. You know what I mean? And then rolled it up to hide it in there.
Okay. I thought you were
And then
implying that she was about to shoot up or something. Like,
no, no, no. She like it looked like she hid something
oh,
in
she
her
put a bindle in the fold.
yeah, so she reaches in her pocket and takes something out of her pocket, I believe. I think that's how
Oh
it
my
starts.
God.
Then she sticks something in the fold of her sleeve. And then when she sits, you can see her messing with the sleeve and then doing something with her hands. And then like a couple minutes later she does the tissue thing. And then she stands up afterwards and you can see the sleeve that she like meticulously folded is unrolled. Like
Oh
she unrolled it.
Jesus.
So I kind of believe that maybe she did do it, or that, or menthol to make her cry, because uh, she needed that, I guess, because she was having trouble crying. But did
And I
anyone?
imagine too, like if she's an addict, that being sober for court wouldn't be a thing because if she's like in like a very active in addiction, not just like a partier for the weekends, then like being sober, she probably gets sick or withdraw. Have like I mean, not necessarily like opiate addiction sick, like where she'd be nauseated or something like that. But like if she's say addicted to stimulants, then she'd be falling asleep on the stand. She would have to have a little in her system to be
Yeah,
normal,
yeah, yeah,
you know? So
yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't put it past somebody to like if they're sitting there for hours, like and they can't get up and go to the bathroom, that they would try it. Especially you got tissues to like hide
yeah,
it. And she kept
for
like
real.
she had like a water bottle that she kept shoving in her pocket whenever like the court police would come over. So people thought maybe there was something in her water bottle too. And the behavior panel did a video on her whole testimony, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Like they broke down whether they felt she was like lying or not.
Right.
And at first, most of them were like they think she's lying. And then he's the one guy from the UK, he kept trying to throw her a bone. Like, look, guys, this could be trauma. We can't jump to conclusions. Then
Being
by like
devil's
the end,
advocate, yeah.
yeah, then by the end of the video, he's like, yeah, like fuck it, she's lying. Like, and they said that she switches from past to present. So the one guy Chase, he's like, she switches from past to present tense so many times. That's like the only time he's ever seen somebody do that in his career, like switch from past to present tense that
I
much.
noticed that. There was this lady talking about how she's like, and I couldn't understand if it was her speaking in past and present or if she just misspoke when she said, he slapped me or something like that.
Oh,
And instead of
the one
saying
she
it,
said,
and
I walked out of the bedroom, he slaps me across the face, and then I turn around to look at him. Like, how does that how does that make
yeah,
sense? If you walked out of the bedroom and he slapped you across the face, obviously he has to be facing in your direction. Or what, did he slap you across the face from behind? And then she's like, and
like,
then I
did he
turned.
slap her across the face and she kept walking across the room? Or like, I don't know, but she didn't include that part, so why
No,
even
she
add
said,
that detail about turning around to look at him?
yeah, I walked out of the bedroom, he slapped me across the face, and I turned around to look at him. And then this one part, she says, um, I was sitting next to him on the couch, and then I lost my balance. It was like, how did
What
you
the?
how did you lose your balance if you're sitting on the couch? And then she adds in later, like right after, like, oh, well, we were on the end of the couch. Like
Oh
she
my
didn't like
god.
fill that detail in. And she gave so many details. Like the behavior panel said it was like she gave every detail down to like how many pieces of clothing she had in the dryer. Like she was like, I was on this carpet and I just remember looking at this carpet and thinking like, what a filthy carpet. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You're in a penthouse with maids and like
Oh my
you got some
god.
filthy carpet. But she just gave all
That
these like
sounds
really,
like distraction, like, or something. Like, I don't know.
she
Like,
was
she
trying
couldn't
to
think of
make
what
it
to
sound
say.
real by over detailing, but because she was like
Yeah.
over detailing, it didn't sound real at all. Like it just sounded like she was like, I don't know,
Lying.
putting words in there. I could probably look up their
That's what,
uh,
see, because, okay, so when you're telling a true story, or at least like when I'm telling, okay, so I wanted to do like a story time on my channel before, and I have like one recorded. I never uploaded it because listen, I can barely get a story time to go to 5 minutes because I tell all of the like details that are relevant, and it's just like, yeah, we went over here, we ran into them. Oh my god, it was crazy. Then we went over here, we partied all night. Then we went home. But you know what I mean? And I'm already almost
but
to the
are
end
you
of the
like,
fucking story.
or are you like,
Like,
yeah? And as I was walking from the living room, I saw a basket full of
right?
50 pieces of clothing. Like who says that shit? Like like
Nobody
nobody
says stuff like that
those ridiculous details. I just like I
unless you're in a movie, and like, you know what I mean. But in real life, like accounts of your accounts of your story or whatever, like that you're trying to report or in court, like you would. Oh, God, she's a mess.
still cleaning
That's
glitter.
too bad.
That's what did it for me too. The audio recordings. The one audio recording, he says like, "You punched me in the face," and she's like, "I didn't punch you. I hit you." And he was like, "You punched me," and she was like, "No, I didn't punch you. I didn't. I didn't. Wasn't like this with my hand. Like you're being such a fucking baby, Johnny. Stop being a baby. Like
Yeah,
just
very abusive. I heard
shit
that shit.
abusive, yeah." And then there's another one where she literally told him, like, "Oh, what are you gonna say? You were abused? Like nobody's gonna believe you. You're a man." Like, oh, like I forget what the quote was, but she was like, "Oh, who's gonna believe Johnny Depp was abused? Nobody will believe you." Like, and it's just
And didn't she say something to him like, were you a victim of abuse? And he's like, yeah, I was, or something like that, or something
she
where
said,
she
"Oh,
asked him something real, like mean like that, and being real sarcastic, and you hear him in the background, like, yeah, like
no,
basically she just beat him.
dude." And then the other one, she's coming at like kids is where I cross the line too. Like, don't say shit about people's kids. You know what I mean? And she
Right.
says something along the lines of like, "Oh, well, hopefully Jack's stepdad teaches him how to do this or
Oh,
whatever." Like, like making a joke that
what a
his
bitch.
son's stepdad is like a better dad, and that fucking made me mad. That pissed me off. Like, you can't talk about. You know what I mean? Like, that's a low fucking blow to start.
Didn't like didn't like Winona Ryder and the baby's mom and other exes come forward like speaking on his behalf and stuff?
Yeah, the only one who didn't is Ellen Barkin, and she says Johnny threw like a bottle, not at her, but just in general, because he was like mad at his assistants or something. But
Right.
everyone else, like he was with Vanessa Paradis for like 14 years. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but they were together for like 14 years, maybe even longer. And she said never once in their whole relationship was he ever um, abusive.
Abusive.
And
Right.
then Winona Ryder said something like she was like, he's the nicest guy ever. I mean, there was a lot of people who, hey, outside the box with Chloe Joe. There's a lot of people
Hey,
who
Chloe.
really came to his defense and was like, you know,
That's cool.
he's
That's
not like
cool.
that at all.
Yeah, no, I've seen
And
other celebrities come forward, like Jolie and I saw something. I think it might have been clickbait though. Something about that one model that was real skinny, Kate Moss.
Kate Moss, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think they might be able to get him to. They might get her to testify. I'm not sure, but they were like cheering in court when she mentioned. So she mentioned Kate Moss's name, and you're not. I guess they made like an agreement that they weren't going to bring up exes, but if the other person does in their testimony, then it leaves it open to be able to like
He dated
bring
Kate
it.
Moss?
Yeah, for a short time, I think. But she tried to say that there was an incident where he pushed Kate Moss down the steps, and
Okay.
and Amber made a comment about that, and then Johnny. Why is my green screen doing this? It's annoying me. Johnny and his lawyers made a like they started cheering because she made a comment about it, and they were like, oh, like now they get to use it against her, or they get to bring Kate Moss
Okay.
in. You can tell the Whitney was in danger of life because.
I gotta jump down, girl. Thank you for having me up, though.
Thank you for coming. I'm glad you finally made it live.
Me too. All right, Kate. I'll talk to you. I'll be in the chat.
All right, see ya. Um, yeah. Well, Whitney is testifying, and I think that's going to be huge when they cross-examine her because of that letter. So, for people who don't know, Whitney, her sister, lived with Johnny and Amber for a while, and there was this incident where they got in like a fight on the steps, and her sister stuck up for her and said that Johnny tried to hit her or whatever. But she left their place. I think they kicked her out, but I could be wrong. I don't know if she left because she felt unsafe or they kicked her out, but she left and moved in with her employer, and my green screen is driving me crazy. Sorry for the fuzzy stuff, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. So she lived with her employer, and then I guess vented to her employer saying that her sister was abusive to her, and for like their whole lives. So, I guess Johnny's lawyers reached out to the employer because they knew she lived with her for some time, and the employer admitted to them that she admitted to her that her sister had abused her, and then she asked the lawyers, "Can I write an email to her, like apologizing because I really care about her?" And they were like, "Yeah, you could contact her." So she wrote an email saying, like, "I really hope you don't hate me for this, but I told them everything, and like, please don't perjure yourself for your sister. Like, you have a lovely husband and a child. Like, you've been dealing with her abuse your whole life. You know what I mean? Like, you need to break free of, your sister." And she explained, she said that Whitney told her that she thought Amber was going to kill Johnny. And like a bunch of other shit. Like, basically, that she was being abused herself by her own sister. So I imagine when she testifies, they're definitely going to cross-examine her with that letter, which would be huge, in my opinion. I wish I could find a TikTok with, where was I with, when I was talking about the diagnosis. I wanted to do histrionic too, so give me a second. Let's read histrionic personality disorder. So, good. What do I? BPD and histrionic. She had histrionic also. I get sidetracked so easily. Histrionic personality disorder are commonly known as a dramatic personality disorder. So, another dramatic personality disorder. Mind you, this is what Michael Long had histrionic. Did he have a borderline too, or was it bipolar? I think he had bipolar. But here's another thing. In the doctor's notes, which I have, hold on, I believe it said I know I have the doctor's notes. Hold on a second. Here we go. It said she was bipolar too, but Maybe it was a misdiagnosis. We'll see. Alright, hold on. Let me share this real quick. So this is the client history that they sent to Dr. Curry, I believe. Amber Heard is a 28-year-old female. Current occupation is actress and model. She has been in a relationship with Johnny Depp since 2012. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp met in 2010 on a film set, but did not start dating. Mike has narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic, bipolar, and a thought disorder. Yikes. Yeah, I know he had histrionic. Hey, NorCal girl. So, client reports a strong support system with her sister Whitney living with her in Los Angeles and several best friends that she socializes with frequently. Both parents are living and married and live in Austin, Texas. Client states she moved from Austin, Texas to New York City when she was 17 to pursue a career in modeling. She moved to Los Angeles in her early 20s to continue her modeling career and pursue an acting career. Client states she works on 1 to 3 films per year on average and spends free time volunteering at the Art of Elysium. She has 2 pet dogs named Pistol and Boo that travel with her frequently. All reports history of substance abuse, including an addiction to cocaine and liquor. CT reports abstaining from cocaine for a couple years, but was unable to report exact dates. CT does not smoke cigarettes. She reports consuming 1 to 3 glasses of red wine a day. Bullshit. $160,000 wine bill, 1 to 3 glasses a day. Ass. She reports familial history of substance abuse. Both mother and father have abused and become dependent on stimulants, methamphetamine, opiates, and alcohol. Her fiance, JD, has a history of polysubstance abuse and completed a medical detox. Hold on a second. A medical detox in July 2014. He has abstained from all substances. Oh, wait, why am I looking over this when it's right on my screen? Since the detoxification period. A client admits a history of anxiety, eating disorder, attention deficit disorder, bipolar disorder, codependence issues, and occasional insomnia. So I don't know if they all kind of like put together kind of make BPD or if she has all these things plus that and histrionic, but codependence issues and occasional insomnia. Client identifies as bisexual and was married to a female partner prior to current relationship with fiance. Also, by the way, she was arrested for domestic violence when she had an altercation with why is this looking like this? Hold on. When she had an altercation with her ex, the girl, Tasia. They were at the airport and she got arrested for attacking her, and the cop who arrested them, they tried to say that she was homophobic and that's why she arrested her, and then it came out that the cop was like a lesbian and went to like every LGBTQ parade there was. I mean, if there was anyone who was the poster child of non-homophobic, it was this lady, and they tried to paint her as homophobic, and that's why she arrested Amber, and then it was blown out of proportion or whatever. Yeah, she can't remember the dates because she's still bumping on the witness stand. Oh, and okay, so this could be like total speculation. Like this guy could have just came out of the freaking woodwork, but a guy has come forward who claims that he was Amber's drug dealer. Hold on. Let me find it. Right, Google it and it'll come right up. I'll read what he said. It's got to be on Twitter. Amber. Here we go. Okay, so this guy is her drug dealer. They did say his name, but I don't know where it is now. From Ryan Leone to Jonathan Zog. Ryan Leone. I guess that's his name, her drug dealer. Listen, brother, I usually don't chime in on gossip. But I know Johnny is a dear friend of yours, and I've known Amber for years. So I figured I'd throw an opinion out there based on my own experience with her. I remember sitting at a picnic table in Santa Monica with you a few months ago having an absolute prophetic conversation about Johnny and Amber's tumultuous but solid things about. I met Amber at the Santa Barbara Film Festival back in 2008. Hey, Lexus. See you, Pam. Thank you for coming. I remember sitting at a picnic table and... Oh, wait, sorry. I went a paragraph back. I met Amber at the Santa Barbara Film Festival back in 2008. I was at the after party for the Bret Easton Ellis adaptation of The Informers. Amber had a shitty role in the movie, and I ended up selling her some blow and giving her my number. Our interactions back then were primarily drug related, but I can tell you this: she was a dope fiend of the worst variety, shooting coke in her crotch to veil her addiction. I mean, you got to be pretty bad in addiction if this is true. Which the guy's pretty detailed. Like, it sounds true, but it might be total speculation. She was a dope fiend of the worst variety, shooting coke in her crotch to veil her addiction. She had the propensity towards delusional and paranoid fits that could last for days until she finally crashed. She got the police called on my house several times, including once for being obnoxiously wasted and driving my ATV around a residential neighborhood at 3 a.m. She is materialistic, hedonistic, narcissistic, very loud, and combative person. I lost contact after I left California for a few years, but when I heard she had married Johnny Depp... Sorry, I'm trying to read the screen behind my computer, so give me a second. I can only imagine that these underlying delusions of grandiosity were amplified to an almost tyrannical level. I mean, it is Johnny Depp after all. Domestic violence is a real thing, and it's an ugly thing. I've done some bad stuff in my time, but I never put my hands on a woman, child, or animal. God damn it. I am also aware that fame grabbing from B-list talentless actresses is a real thing as well. I know Amber, and she's a liar. The truth is being revealed rapidly, but rest assured, coming from someone that has wasted a lot of my life with person I full-heartedly support. Sorry. I have like a screen behind my screen that I screen share because it's less confusing to screen share from another screen. And my laptop is like blocking it, so I have to look behind it. So it probably look funny, but yeah. So if this is true, she's got a really bad addiction. Yeah, if she was doing that, then she was definitely doing bumps on the stand for sure. Let me see if I can find. You know what? Let me go over. This girl had a really good Twitter thread where she kind of like explained everything. She's oh, it's gonna take me a minute to find that. Well, anyway, you know what I'll do? Forget that. I'll go over some cross-examination stuff. I do have... Oh, you know what? That's what I was going to do. Anyone not see the behavior panel thing? I can play it. So supposedly her drug dealer wrote that. He reached out to somebody who's friends with Johnny Depp and said that he used to sell drugs to her. Now, obviously, I can't say that's like for sure true, but it could be just somebody trying to get their 5 minutes of fame. But there's a lot of details, and it sounds like it could be true. So, if that's the case, then she definitely has some serious issues. But I was gonna play like a little clip of like the behavior panel because I thought that was super interesting. I'm gonna try and go towards like the end.
We're going to talk about
Let's try here. Alright, hold on a second. I might have to mute because it seems loud, but let me speed it up a little. I'm just gonna play a couple clips so you guys can see like them talking about it, but
get him off me, and he shoved me back and he said, "You want to go, little girl?" I couldn't, as I sit here today, tell you if that happened before he choked me up against the wall,
back in
but
2
at
seconds.
some point,
Watch this for 1 second.
I am in a struggle with him where I'm holding his shirt lapel, and he kind of just flings me, for lack of a better way to describe it, throws me across the room. I land on a games table. It's like a ping pong table. And I don't know if I was holding on to him or if he pursued me separate, but he gets on top of me on the games table and is just whacking me in the face, like repetitive. We struggle on the games table. I don't know how we get up. I don't know if he pulls me up. I wish I could tell you, but we were in this struggle down in this games room by the bar. And we had this conversation about the drinking, or argument about the drinking. And he holds up this bottle to me. And, you know, I'm saying, did you drink this whole thing? Something stupid, focusing on this detail. And he is telling me that I can't control him anymore. And that if I really, if I really wanted to try, take it. And then he's like taunting me to take the bottle from him. If I really want him to stop, why don't I take it from him? Go on. And kind of gesturing with the bottle towards me. And like he does that 2 or 3 times. I reach for it. He'd revoke it, kind of laugh at me. And he's holding out the bottle. I think like maybe the 3rd time or so I get a hold of it. I pick it up and I slam it down on the ground right in between us. There's a tile floor, a white tile floor. And I smashed the bottle on the floor. And that really set him off. So stupid.
Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, really simple. We've got childish teasing going on and then unmoderated anger going on. She says, so stupid. Again, you couldn't be more accurate, more correct about this. It's the most adult thing that's being said here, which is to do childish teasing around somebody who isn't going to moderate their anger. Both parties here. This is a really bad combination. And so, of course, we get what we get in this. We've got 2 people who are unmoderated and children. Childish, they with somewhat of maybe an arrested development, or there's certain drugs that get taken, or a lifestyle that gets led, and not having people around to help with that moderation. It's a really bad combination. Anyway, that really sets him off. She says, well, that's very unspecific, isn't it? What do you mean? What do you mean sets him off? What happens during that? So again, I don't like the unspecific nature of that, but I think what's being said here is actually very, very honest and perceptive about the situation that's going on. Scott, what do you think?
All right, I'll talk about Johnny for a couple minutes. He's adapting in his chair. We talked about that in the last show, how he sways back and forth a little bit. And then when he touches his head, that's similar to when somebody kind of sneaks an adapter when they're talking about something they're uncomfortable, they're being put on point, and they'll talk, say, well, I'll tell you what I think about so-and-so. And an adapter is something used to get rid of that built-up stress and or tension. And when you push on your face right there, like, oh, you'll feel that muscle kind of relax in there. You feel your face relax. Or when you push on your chin or your mouth, those types of things. And his eyebrows shoot up with that exacerbated facial expression. Now, that just know he's really uncomfortable with what she's saying. And the eyebrows also indicate the concern, along with his deep breath, that this really bothers him. So we can add those as adapters here as well. But overall, I think he's really ill at ease here. So I agree with you, Mark. I think this has probably got a lot of truth in it. Chase, what do you got?
We've got a lot of the same stuff. There's a lot of present tense here during very key points. I'll let you look at that. But there's also a shift to internal dialogue when her eyes move down and to her left. There's gaze aversion where she's looking away during very key points here. I'll let you take a look at what that is. But the emotional impact is perfectly timed with the eye contact to the jury. Perfectly timed so that she delivers to the camera, which is the jury. She delivers to the audience the exact emotional impact at the exact right time. And a lot of this is deviation. There's a lot of confirmation glances, unnecessary detail, and repetition of the word floor right here. So we see repetition to make sure that I'm forcing visuals into a person's head. I'm forcing this person to visualize or think of something or construct an image in their head. That's all I got. Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm not going to add much. I agree with you guys. She touches her face once as she's trying to change direction when she says it really set him off. And I agree with you, Scott. Watching Johnny Depp, you can see he does a heavy inhale, heavy exhale, and hard eye contact. I associate that kind of with frustration. So I think that's what we're seeing. That's it.
And kind of gesturing with the bottle towards me. And like he does that 2 or 3 times. I reach for it. He'd revoke it, kind of laugh at me. And he's holding out the bottle. I think like maybe the 3rd time or so I get a hold of it. I pick it up and I slam it down on the ground right in between us. There's a tile floor, a white tile floor. And I smashed the bottle on the floor. And that really set him off. So stupid. I honestly don't remember if I threw anything in his direction. I don't think I did. I just remember him having me by the nightgown. I remember him flailing me, throwing me around. I'm flailing. This is after there were some bottles broken on the floor. I think this is actually after, again, forgive me, I wish I could remember the sequence, but it splashes. He's throwing these bottles at me. I remember retreating. There were also cans, like soda cans, beer or soda cans, and they're coming at me one after the other. And I keep pulling myself into the bar area. There's a bar behind me in like I don't know, like an L shape. He's standing the only way you can exit. So I'm kind of trapped in front of the sink, surrounded by bar on 3 sides with him in front of me-ish, kind of front off to the left. And he's throwing these bottles one after the other. And I can feel glass breaking behind me. I remember feeling one of them go by my head really fast. I mean, a real velocity. I remember being terrified. I remember I couldn't move. I couldn't go anywhere. I eventually he ran out of things to throw. I think that's how I moved myself towards the exit. And I believe that's most likely when we got kind of in this struggle by the bar area.
All right, I'll go first on this one. We see another huge one-sided shoulder shrug. And like we talked about before, that indicates she's not totally comfortable with her answer. It doesn't really mean it's deceptive. There are no absolutes. That means just because somebody does something, scratches their nose or bites their mouth, it doesn't mean they're being deceptive or telling the truth. It's just one of those, a cue you look for to add to a group of cues to make sure things are going in the direction you think they're going. The biting on one side of her mouth seems to be an adapter at that point, but it falls right in line with all the other cues that she's displaying. To show she's tentative, unsure, and uncomfortable. And she's displaying plenty of anger, disgust, and contempt cues, and a lot of what we've seen up to this point. And also, there's that word again, remember. Here it is one more time. And let's pay attention to how it's being used up to this point. It's just here and there right now. It's not very often, sparingly, but it's getting ready to go off the rails with it here in a couple minutes. So there's importance to start listening for it and start counting them when you hear them. All right, Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, so that biting the side of the mouth, I agree with you, is typically an adapter. It's bigger than an adapter with her here because she does it 3 times in 3 videos, and they're all pre-violence. If I am a child and I always do that and I get away with it, I'm probably going to do that the rest of my life. And that's not an acting thing. She didn't learn that somewhere, and that's part of a character she's prepared for. That's probably something as a little kid they would get after her and she'd do, I think it was cute or something. Don't know. But what I will tell you is it shows up 3 times. All 3 times are pre-violence. Something that's an indicator in her case, just her case. Other one, she rubs her face, and you would think she's got tears there or something. There was no tears in her face as far as we can see. She does one of the best denials I've seen in forever, meaning the worst. I honestly, one shoulder rise, don't think I did. Well, that's about as far as you can go to saying I did without saying it, because we associate one shoulder, as Scott said, with not feeling certain or uncomfortable with what we're saying. And it's very pronounced in this case because she does this most of the time. I honestly, there's a qualifier. So she's distancing and qualifying at the same time, and then says, don't think I did. So she's got another cutaway. That's a long sentence. She threw a bottle, clearly. I mean, this is now starting to look like maybe Johnny Depp's telling the truth. So we just have to follow it. She goes, I just remember inside of her mouth, she bites that thing. And then I'm almost certain she threw a bottle at him here, and that's what started whatever happened here. Then she does a tongue jut at the end of him flailing or throwing her around. I'm flailing. She does a distaste. After some bottles broken on the floor. Well, that sounds a lot like, yeah, that's passive voice. There's a whole bunch of broken bottles. Then she goes in that again, forgive me, and she does a whine in her voice. She does a tense shift. There's more illustration about the bar and where she went than there is about violence going on. Again, if I'm going to use that many illustrators, be that illustrative of what's going on, I'm probably going to do some of the other piece. And then finally, what we see is what I always refer to as going down the well. And I've seen in the interrogation room plenty of times the person starts finding a way to feel worse and make themselves more emotional and curl up into a ball. And they do it all the time as a way to avoid the question, a way to avoid other things. And then I see her eye block, close her eyes as she starts talking about the struggle in the bar area. She's going down a well to prepare for this next thing that we'll cover. But that's the second time. Something's up with that specific piece of body language. Chase, what do you got?
This is a rare time that I will stake my reputation on this.
Chase is my favorite.
This is deception. You don't hear me say it often. In my opinion, this is deception. This is what it looks like. More remembering, she's saying there's some broken bottles on the floor. Completely forgets. We'll memorize the type of wood the floors are made of in the house, the exact color and type of tiles, the table that she was thrown into, how many towels are in the dryer at that exact moment. I don't know how many details she can get except for how those bottles got broken. I think that we're skipping over some details here. And I think she's obsessing with how destructive he is. And this is likely distancing language that she's the one who probably created this mess. And it looks like she's making accusations of the things that he is saying that she did. She's just redirecting every single accusation backward. She redirects again to her problems with sequence. And this is the only time we see this is when the detail needs to be inserted. It flashes, there's an eye contact flutter avoidance where the eyes are just fluttering like Greg's screen right now. Just avoid it.
Never had that happen, ever.
And she's saying, I remember retreating, shifting back to the present. There's a bar behind me. I'm trapped. He's throwing these bottles one after the other. I remember bottle breaking, terrified, couldn't move. I believe that's when we got in the struggle. When she's saying all this detail, this added detail and pretend confusion are a very classic case that's often seen in cases of malingering and faking or pretending memories. It's right here in the textbook. And they teach this. It's well reviewed. It's peer reviewed in multiple, I'm talking more than 50 academic articles that talk about this specific behavior, and 3 or 4 more of the behaviors that she's exhibiting here in this video that directly goes into fabricating stories and fabricating a mental illness, which is what we're seeing. Mark.
I think Mark's already been.
Oh.
No, you haven't?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. I thought so. Okay,
no
sorry, dude.
No, yeah, look, well, I got not much to add, actually, Scott, because, Chase, if your reputation is going down, then mine's going with you, because I have up here, big cluster of deception, and then over here, cluster of deception. I mean, it is just a massive, massive cluster of deception going on here. The only things I have to add into the list that everybody has given here is, look, we said right at the start that this disgust and disdain and some of the anger is a bit of a baseline for her, and I think that's about personality, or potentially, in my opinion, personality disorder, potentially. But she masks it with her hand. She shows disgust and disdain, and then she does a mask and blocks, and then it shows again. So just another piece of deception there that we catch her in. An out breath, big out breath. E at the start, there's an indecision as to how to go about even talking about this stuff at the start. So there's clear self-monitoring around here, a clear understanding of, I'm going to say something that might not be accurate, and I really need to slow it down, work this out, protect myself, shade some of the feelings that I'm going to have. So a big, big cluster there. And what a massively different story than Johnny Depp's. So there's nothing really that aligns about the two. Now, of course, one person could be lying and the other person could be telling the truth, okay? But they were both there at the same time, and there's zero, I would say, alignment about this story. Zero alignment, which is really odd. Huge deception. There, I'm going down with you, Chase.
I honestly don't remember if I threw anything in his direction. I don't think I did. I just remember him having me by the nightgown.
I found the TikToks. Sorry, babe. I didn't say nothing, I swear. Hold on. I found those TikToks I was talking about, the cocaine ones. All right. Let me get them for you.
I think I figured out exactly.
All right, so I have the first one is the sleeve thing, which I'm going to show you right now. All right, so this is when she rolls something in her sleeve. This girl points it out. She does
where she got the tissue from. I'm speculating here, but I think she's rolling something up in her sleeve. Now, if you notice, the position of this tissue never changes, so she didn't get it from there. I think it's possibly rolled up in her sleeve. Keep watching. Notice how she carefully rolls this one up and then stuffs it in her sweater. And that one she just shoves in there. That one she carefully rolls and tucks. This one she just kind of like shoves in there. Not as careful, not as pretty, okay? Okay, here we are at 1 hour, 37 minutes, 23 seconds. Tissue still in the same position, okay? Let's just fast forward through all of this till we get to that point. Okay, notice the tissue is still in the same position, but she's now looking down at her lap. What is she doing? Girl, I don't even know. Tissue still in the same position. Okay, keep watching. Now, it's still, the tissue is still in the same position. 1 hour, 46 minutes, still there. Then I notice she's just sitting nice and calm, just listening. And she grabbed something, I'm assuming from her sleeve.
It doesn't, it's still hearsay, Your Honor.
She wasn't sniffing before.
May we approach you?
Why did she need the tissue? She wasn't sniffing before she got the tissue. And once she got the tissue, then she started sniffing. Okay. Okay, here we go again. So no sniffles. None. No sniffling. Nothing. No sniffles. Tissue. Holds it.
Did you have communications with
Sniff, sniff.
Depp about auditioning for another role in this time?
And then watch when she stands up. That sleeve that she tucked in is magically unrolled. This one is still shoved in there like it was. But this one, look, it's unrolled. Did you see that? Okay, let's watch it again. She stands up. Right there. It's unrolled. You can see how it's unrolled. So let's go back to the beginning. Here's the beginning where she intentionally rolls that thing about 5 or 6 times and tucks it really good in there. Don't believe me? Watch it yourself. I think I figured out exactly where she got the tissue from.
Look, I want to say it's menthol too, but the second TikTok I'm about to show has me thinking otherwise. So hold on. I know I shared this to you already, Alexis, so you've seen it, but this one had me cracking up. Hold on. Sorry, it takes me a minute to transfer stuff. Okay.
It doesn't, it's still hearsay, Your Honor.
Oh, no. Wait. Okay.
It doesn't, it's still hearsay, Your Honor. May we approach you?
A few minutes later.
That's why we had gone back to LA. We went to Benihana's.
Look at her mouth. She
Is there a
moves her
question?
mouth so much.
Off the
Like
picture,
weird ways and like licks
if
her
you're looking
lips.
at this picture, imagine up and to the left.
Another one.
Did you have communications with Mr. Depp about auditioning for another role in this time frame?
A few moments later.
I don't know if I came back down in my nightgown at that point. This time he was holding a broken bottle to me. I honestly don't remember if and I believe that's most likely when we got kind of in this for the paint. My canvases have been covered with what looked like just was a painting that had
What's with her eyes? She's like
this one was, and passed out in the
blinking her eyes
bathroom.
all crazy.
With the door locked.
Her like mouth is all like
Dr. Kipper and
Stop it. Get some help.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, she definitely had something, whether it was menthol or coke. But I really think someone in active addiction who, like, she scoped out the room and thought she could get away with it, she'd do it. I don't. Yeah, you're. I mean, televised to the world. You're right. It's stupid, but I mean, maybe menthol would make her cry. It could be, but she definitely did something because she like hid that tissue. She had that tissue. Didn't even get it from the thing. She was up to something. Yeah, like if she probably looked up and realized the judge can't see her because that thing's real high. You know what I mean? If she's a tissue, ain't nobody gonna be able to tell. So, sure, like she might, try and. I mean, even doing menthol's pretty risky, but hey, if whatever works, I guess something shifty was going on, for sure. I thought maybe she was just like politely blowing her nose, but like, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. But yeah, so behavior panel pretty much was like, she's lying. Oh, and then she says something like, he drugged me across the parakeet floors, and it's like parquet floors or whatever. I think that's how you say it. But they're like saying that they think that she had a script and was reading off a script because there was words that she obviously didn't know how to pronounce, and she said parakeet. Yeah, she did. She looked directly towards the judge to check in to see. Yep. I think, like, I don't know. I just think she would be that stupid because if you're stuck on that stand for hours and you can't go, like, to the bathroom and do a little bump or whatever, that she would risk it. I mean, she could put it in her, like, nail or, just scoop a little in her nail. And I mean, you can do that, like, subtly, but people are just totally picking her apart. So it's hard for her to probably doing bumps on brick. Yeah, for sure. I mean, she definitely still had a cocaine problem, in my opinion, because, like I said, no man is going to be like, let me go get a fucking tampon applicator as a straw. I mean, that's just a woman thing. Like, a guy's not going to think of that. So, I don't know. I don't see it. I did have, hold on. I had some, where is it? Let me find it. I had an article about. No, I'll find it. But they think some of the questions would be. It was a really good article that I like. Oh, here we go. I don't know if this is it or a different one, but. Oh, and you know what's super crazy too? So I looked up. All right, so Adam Waldman was Johnny Depp's lawyer who got. He's not allowed in a courtroom because I guess he was like tweeting a bunch of shit, going crazy. So Amber had like oh, I gotta push myself back a little bit. I had my little guy sitting on my stomach. He crawled up here. So Amber, a couple days before she went to the police station to file a TRO, had a computer guy come over and take her computer. So it makes me wonder if she had this guy come over and take her computer and doctor some pictures of her with bruises on her face or something. And then actually I can look it up right now. I'll look up him too so you can see it. But he tweeted some really good points, and I'm pretty sure he was deleted, like he got banned from Twitter for the stuff he was saying. All right, for instance, March 23rd, 2013, Ms. Heard claimed Depp smashed her in the face with ringed fingers, spattering blood on the SMEG fridge that wasn't purchased until 2014. So she said a specific fridge they didn't even have at the time. Confronted with this photo taken the following day, Heard and her sister testified you can see the facial damage. Is there a way I can zoom in? we go. I don't see anything on her face at all. Like nothing. So that was following day, apparently, after she was pummeled. And then wait, how did I end up here? Oh, I can't read that. So basically they were cross-examining Joshua Drew, who was at the house that night and supposedly called the cops. And the cop said they didn't see any injuries or damage to the home. So he said, do you have any reason to know why Officer Haddon would commit perjury? And Drew said, I'm not really comfortable speculating on the behavior of LAPD officers. What a messy crime scene LAPD officers refused to see. Because LAPD said there wasn't any mess and that it was totally fine. He has a bunch of really good tweets. Hold on. I gotta find them. He talks about tweets. Show you that. Why can't I find them now? They were everywhere. So there was one that talked about the computer guy. That's what I'm trying to find. Try Twitter. Alright, whatever. We'll go over the cross-exam questions. I'll find it eventually. Alright, so Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are set to face off against one another in Virginia court once again Monday after a week-long break in their high-profile defamation trial. So Depp is suing Heard for $50 million, and she's countersuing for $100 million for nuisance. After Heard's 2 days of testimony in which she emotionally alleged that she had been beaten and sexually assaulted by Depp during their ill-fated relationship, which ended in 2016. So, ahead of the resumption of the trial next week, Newsweek spoke to legal experts who have shared some of the questions they predict will be asked of Heard. Sexual violence. California First Amendment attorney Jeff Lewis told Newsweek that one of the points Depp's attorneys may probe is Heard's recent claims of sexual violence. Heard will be asked some very hard questions, such as why, prior to this trial, had the sexual assault allegations never been made before. She testified under oath before in deposition and trial in England, and she signed a statement under penalty of perjury to get a restraining order in 2016. Why wouldn't the sexual violence have been disclosed by her prior to this trial, he continued. So when she filed this restraining order, she didn't say anything about the sexual, or I shouldn't even be saying that on YouTube, the essay. She didn't say anything about it where she supposedly got essayed with a broken bottle, but didn't go to the doctor or anything like that. And in the Gold Coast recording, if you haven't heard it, go on YouTube and listen to the recording of them in Australia. Basically, she's like crying, saying, like, did I hurt Johnny? Knowing that she cut his finger off. She admits to doing drugs. She says nothing about, like, essay or being in pain or anything like that. She's begging that she could stay. And then there was an airplane incident where they were on a plane from Boston where they got into an argument, and she claims that Johnny kicked her in the back. Yeah, she's just adding things as she goes along. I agree. So she said that, they were arguing and she just felt this like boot to her back. And the Aquaman star tearfully told us how this was the first time that anything like that happened in front of somebody. However, said Lewis, if Heard was struck by Depp on a private plane flight in front of witnesses, why has not one witness come forward? Expect Depp's team to highlight any chances of Heard's allegations over time. Every deviation and details will be exploited to build a picture that Heard has lied about Depp. Covering bruises. During opening statements last month, Heard's attorney, Elaine Braidhoft, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Elaine is a trip. I can't stand that woman. And she even got her own client's name wrong. She called her Laura Amber Heard and then was like, oh, sorry, Amber Laura Heard. And then she called her own witness Dr. Curry when it was the other doctor, Dr. Hughes, I think. She called her Dr. Curry. She kept going on about muffins and trying to allege that the doctor was sleeping with Johnny. She's horrible. But anyway, during opening statements, Elaine Braidhoft sparked a debate when she held up a makeup palette and said that it was the actress had used to cover bruises allegedly stained at the hands of Depp. This is what Amber carried in her purse for the entire relationship with Johnny Depp, Braidhoft told the jury. She's an actor. Do you honestly think she would have left her apartment ever without makeup? Do you think that she ever would have wanted other people to see bruises and her cuts? This is what she used. She became very adept to it, and you're going to hear the testimony from Amber about how she had to mix the different colors for the different days of the bruises as they developed in the different coloring, and how she would use these to touch those up to be able to cover those. She also used concealer foundation. Lewis told Newsweek that Heard will likely be asked about these claims during the cross-examination, saying if she cannot answer these questions convincingly, the symphonies will sway in Depp's favor. Heard taunting Depp. In a secretly recorded audio clip of one particular conversation with Depp, Heard was heard telling the actor, tell people it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge thinks. Tell the world, Johnny. The clip was played. I wonder if I could play the clip real quick. Yeah, the makeup didn't even exist back then. Milani or whatever made a TikTok. My neck hurts. Milani or whatever the makeup company was made a TikTok saying that it didn't even come out until after they had already broken up. Oh no. My shirt is it's almost like a sweater material, but it's a short sleeve shirt. His nails are ripping it. Why is this not working? I wanted to play the audio recording. Is this it? Let me see. Oh no, that's not it. Here it is.
Cooperation between people hearing us or cooperation of next day, Whitney sending text messages, having him responding, or, the kind of stuff like between me and people in your life. It is insanely cross-collaborated than it is a plan. I'm going to put makeup on myself and take pictures throughout years and just sit on it for years. While having this imaginary life run parallel to it. Do you understand that the pictures I have match with text messages to my mom back and forth about it, and text messages between, say, Raquel and my mom, or Raquel and my dad, or, between my two.
That wasn't the one I was trying to find that they said, but she's full of crap because she didn't even hand in her phone metadata. Oh, here it is. This is the one I was looking for. She didn't hand her phone metadata.
So there is new audio
so
being
that
reported on by the Daily Mail. Another conversation between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. This one is a phone conversation that Amber Heard initiated during their
So they don't even know when
during
those
the time
pictures
of
were
an active
taken.
Amber were complaining to Johnny that he and his team are the reason this didn't.
Oh my God. What in it? Fight really fucked up aggressive moves made on your team's behalf.
And we're complaining to Johnny that he and his team are the reason this didn't stay private, that they're putting everything out there, claiming that his
Hopefully
team
this
was
isn't
with
too
his response
fast,
to the
guys.
divorce filing.
That's how fucked up it's like. I am having to do everything, every step I've had to make it, but my hand is forced in it by really fucked up aggressive moves made on your team's behalf. And now I've got to fucking prove myself every step of the way, and it only hurts you. I don't want to hurt you. I love you.
It's hurting you. It's hurting you. And it's hurting me. But the worst fucking thing is, it's hurting.
It becomes court.
Do you want to go to court, Amber? Seriously? Do you want to go to court with this? I'm offering you right now an opportunity for us to make this finish in peace. Peaceful, man. We walk away. You go do what you got to do. I'll go do what I got to do. I've been through the fucking hurt. You've been through the fucking hurt. I love you more than anything in life. But I do not want to go into a fucking court with you. I do not want to fucking tarnish your name.
She's the one who wanted it to go public.
I want this to be done peacefully between us. And if you don't like the way that mediation is going, take me back to court, kid. Because I can't.
I don't have 27 minutes
this is
to
the
play
last
this. Let me see if I can find the
love
part.
is real or not. I love you.
Where?
I know. What I was trying to say is this. Continuing through court is going to end up nothing but bad.
Let me find the part where she said that to him.
It's just going to be bad. In any case.
Coming on the record and having the protection to do so that I haven't had yet. It would be eyewitness statements. It would be evidence, tons of it, and it would be through years. And it would be unbelievable to imagine that either I'm in a secret fight club, or B, I've had
a secret what?
I've had a secret fight club, or that I have been plotting to do this for for 3 years, and while taking pictures of it and documenting it, just saving it up for the right time when I'm not asking for any money and have nothing financial to gain from it. But no one is going to believe that. No one is going to believe that one of the two alternatives, either I'm in a fight club, or I've been going through hair and makeup, or going through makeup through all these years, where I have corroborating text messages between people that match those dates of those timestamp validated photos of I would either corroboration between people hearing us, or corroboration of next day, Whitney sending text message to Kevin, him responding, or the kind of stuff like between me and people in your life. It is insanely cross corroborated. Then it is a plan. I'm going to put makeup on myself and take pictures throughout years and just sit on it for years. While having this imaginary life run parallel to it. Do you understand? The pictures I have match with text messages to my mom back and forth about it, and text messages between, say, Raquel and my mom, or Raquel and my dad, or between my two friends.
Okay, first off, did she just say nobody is going to believe that she uses makeup to paint on bruises, then takes pictures, and finally texts her friends and family about them to make sure she has proper documentation? That is just scary. It sounds like a criminal mastermind monologuing their evil plan while the hero dangles over the shark pit. Look, I'll come back to this in a bit. Just chew on that for a second while Amber goes on to describe a specific event.
There's a text message where I tell Jody the night before I had that James Corden night show thing, where I say, "Hey Jody, I've had an accident. I think I have a busted lip. I may have a busted nose and 2 black eyes tomorrow because that will be into the warning every day. But I don't know how I'm icing it. I just I'll let you know in the morning, and things like that. It doesn't matter. There is nothing, and all of that won't be me throwing you in the bus. That will be evidence in this case, which it will be criminal as well, because I cannot go on Friday and file without filing a police statement first. And the only reason I haven't filed that police statement, which has been used against me, by the way, every day.
So real quick, let me just say, before this, she sent him a letter with a bunch of stipulations of things that she wanted. She wanted access. Okay. Thanks for coming, Colleen. So basically, she sent him a letter saying she wants this much money, she wants access to the penthouses, she wants all this stuff, or she's going to go public and say that he abused her. And this is her basically saying that this, sorry, I drank my Red Bull and inhaled it, so I keep having cough it up. But this is her basically saying that she's gonna go do this and threatening it if he doesn't give her what she wants.
The only reason I won't do it, I haven't done it, is because I don't want to hurt you, and that means it goes out of my hands. And we had a third party prosecutor come, and a criminal lawyer come, and they went like, the problem is, hearing from you, like your biggest struggle is that it's the most solid evidence case of domestic violence I've ever seen. And if you give this over to them or present any part of it, they will prosecute him. And I felt like I would never want that for you. Because it's hard for me to even understand. I don't call myself, like, in my head, it's hard for me to even accept any sort of victimdom ever. And
Amber, listen, I understand, and I don't want to hurt you either. I'm only going to say this. I love you. I love you. And I've always loved you. And I know that, look, you do whatever you feel you have to do. I'm telling you now, it's a mistake to go to court. But if you want to go to court, we'll go to court. I would rather take care of it a different way. I think it would be very good for you, and I think it would be very good for me. But you know what?
I've been called a liar, and I've been called a gold digger. Baby,
Amber, I didn't call you those things.
I don't want it to go. I didn't want it either. I don't want it to be.
It's been going on too long, Amber. We just gotta stop this. Just gotta stop it.
I don't know how to get my reputation back.
This is the event I have covered with a fair amount of detail on this channel. She's talking about the incident on December 15th, 2015. I was actually in the middle of putting together an in-depth video about this particular incident when all this stuff started dropping, putting that on pause. Quick side note about that date, that was the day Amber found out she alone was going to be facing charges for smuggling her dogs into Australia and was potentially up against a large fine and jail time. Something tells me that she might not have been in the best mood that day, especially considering the man she liked to blame for everything wouldn't be facing charges with her. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Johnny has any idea what she's talking about here, and for a couple of reasons. One, it just didn't happen the way she claimed. And two, Johnny remembers that night very differently. He claims Amber attacked him that night, leaving him with these scratches and injuries to his face. He would then take her to dinner later that night while attempting to hide his injuries while Amber had no injuries. Amber says she feared for her life that night. She claimed she had several large chunks of hair pulled from her scalp while being dragged by her hair up and down stairs and across multiple condos. She claimed she got a busted lip, 2 black eyes, a nearly broken nose, all of it caused by a full bodyweight headbutt to the face and a flurry of punches and slaps from Johnny. Injuries and alleged swelling and misshapen features that would have been impossible to completely disguise with makeup. And if you want, you can go watch the clips from the show on YouTube. Here are some pictures from the show with 0 injuries and no apparent discomfort or fear of reopening the less than day-old wounds while she made exaggerated facial features. Numerous witnesses have come forward to testify that Amber lied and was completely uninjured the day following the alleged life-threatening assault, including the property manager, Kevin Murphy, and Amber's own stylist for the show, Samantha McMillan, who actually worked with Amber throughout the day when she was makeup-free and without injury. Does she have any witnesses? No, none have come forward to give testimony to support her claims, but she has pictures and text. You know, like when she said nobody will believe that she painted on injuries, then took pictures and made sure to text someone about it. In fact,
I've been trying to protect you.
You told IO to call the cops.
While it was happening?
Yeah.
Okay, briefly, they do discuss the cops being called on May 21st, 2016, while it was happening. And keep in mind that it, according to Amber, was that she was assaulted that night. You know, the whole story, the phone thrown at the face, the hair pulled, the repeated hits to the face. Johnny doesn't agree with this at all. In fact, this night in May, he claims she was standing across the room when Amber screamed while on the phone with her friend IO for Johnny to stop hitting her and to call 911. It, according to Johnny, was nothing but verbal after he had called Kevin Murphy, who was ultimately cussed and yelled at by Amber for telling Johnny the truth about Amber leaving poop in the bed a month prior after her April birthday party following another physical attack against Johnny.
Oh, I'm sorry, because the last time that it got crazy between us, I really did think I was going to lose my life, and I thought you would do it on accident. And I told you that. I said, oh my God, I thought the first time.
Amber, I lost a fucking finger, man. Come on. I had a mineral can of mineral spirits thrown at my nose.
I think it's odd that it appears she's trying to convince him the last time things, quote, got crazy between them that she honestly did think she was going to lose her life. But interesting part is that she's very vague. Something she tends to do when she knows that she physically assaulted him, even says it was him doing whatever he vaguely did on accident. My opinion, and again, not telling anyone what to think here, but I honestly believe that if Johnny ever had to defend himself, you know, push her away or off of him, which he has said he has had to do it.
Do you believe you abused me physically?
Here's where.
Do I physically believe? I don't believe I physically abused you.
Hello, the danger zone.
You know, I'm 115, well, not anymore, but I was 115 pounds. I was 115 pound woman, and you're, it says I have the capacity of you.
This is the
That's
part.
not the question. That's not the question. You started these things.
Well, you ever been able to get up on the stairs, Johnny, and say she started it? Really? I have never been able to overpower you. That's the difference between me and you.
Why did you try?
And that's the difference that the whole world and the jury and the judge see. There's no very big difference between me and you.
shift in tone, at least to me, is so bone-chilling here. I really don't know how to describe it. The way she goes from frantic, vague yelling about why she thinks he is an
she's
abuser
a damn
to
liar,
absolute
for
silence
sure.
before cold and collected thoughts. She admits to trying to overpower him and knock him off his feet, saying it as if it was an actual goal, something that she would strive to achieve throughout
I
her
gotta show
numerous
you
physical
all this
onslaughts.
picture
And
into
much like the
this.
previous reporting, he reminds her that she initiated and started every single physical episode. And she doesn't deny it, and in fact confirms it by doubling down and mocking him with a whining voice, questioning if he's going to take the stand and say, she started it, and she was banking on the fact that he is a man and bigger and stronger to convince a jury there's no way she could have hurt him. Again, insulting him with this whole no one will believe you phrasing. I mean, she sounds like a playground bully here, and let's just call this what it is, an abuser trying to discourage their victim from speaking up and telling the truth, from telling their side, by saying no one is going to believe you. After more blaming and verbal berating by Amber that Johnny and his team caused all of this, Johnny starts to stand up for himself a bit more.
You cannot automatically, you cannot think that it's just my side. You're fucking killing me. Your fucking people are trying to kill me. You've turned me into my boy has to go to school. My boy goes to school and has kids go, so your fucking dad's a wife beater? You don't think about that, Amber.
You don't think that's also my family and all the death threats that me and every single person in my immediate circle of friends and family is getting also matters? And you don't think
Death threats?
People think about it. You think about that. Why is the jury trying to look at it live? Then why is the collective measure? Then why is you have to try to get a file for divorce, period, at all? Why did you have to go into TMZ? Why, if you wanted it private, did TMZ do second and literally my Laura Walker and run through every fucking way? It's literally my best record. What's next in the media? The rumors that I was a stripper? Of course. Of course I expect that next. I know every step of the way.
Was she a stripper?
Step of the way, everybody do.
I mean,
I
not
give
that
him.
that's anything
I
bad,
give him.
but
That's it. I give him. I'll see you in court. No, I'll fucking see you in court. I will fucking see you in court. I never fucking said that. I never told anyone that. You fucking trusted me with that, and I've never fucking told anyone that. And you know what, Amber? This is not, no, this is me. This is me saying,
so
I
she
tried.
was.
And thank you, and I will see you in fucking court. You don't want to fucking make nice? I'm trying. But you know what? I loved you for so many fucking years, but you know what? You didn't exist. You don't exist. You're not there. You're not there. You were a fucking made up thing in my head. I can't believe you're doing this to me.
Stop.
I can't believe it.
There's no need to be cruel on top of this.
You've been nothing but cruel, and I'm going to court with you.
I'm sitting here defending myself, and it makes you so angry.
You have not let up. You keep blaming. No, what you just said. What you just said to me. What you just said to me. You're defending yourself against me about something I didn't fucking do, and I'm not going to fight with you because I know this shit lasts forever.
I didn't say you did it.
Excuse me.
I'm defending myself.
Excuse me.
I'm defending myself. You on the phone right now. You're attacking me.
Excuse me. I'll be right back. But can you give me 1 minute, please? May I have 1 minute, please? I'll be right back.
So hold up. Let me show you this real quick. So she claims that on the night of the Met Gala, he broke her nose. So this is literally the next day. I'm sorry, but there's no way. There's no way that she had a broken nose. Let me zoom in on this shit. Like, no way. No way. There's no way she had a broken nose. She said that he pummeled her. Now, mind you, this man wears like 7 or 8 rings all over his knuckles. And she said the night after, so they went to the Met Gala, then they went to a hotel after the Met Gala, and she said he was holding her down and like punching her in the face and broke her nose. You can see clearly. I mean, there's no way. I've never seen a broken nose that looked that perfect. Like, sorry, this is probably going to be disgusting, but these are broken noses. There's no way. No way. And then there was another incident. Yeah, no, her nose wasn't broken. Then there was another incident, right? Where she says, you know, he beat her up and he was holding her and grabbing her, punching her, whatever. And this is Amber, hold on, let's see if I can find it. She was literally ocean tubing the next day. She was ocean tubing the next day in a bikini in the water. I'll have to look on Twitter. But, I mean, clearly she couldn't have makeup on. She was in the water. And there's no way. Yeah. Jury, when Amber Heard tells him she went ocean tubing with broken ribs, she was wearing a bikini. She said she had broken ribs. She was wearing a bikini, and you can see her whole. Yeah, here we go. Here they are. Broken ribs. She said she had broken ribs here. That's her tattoo, so that's not a bruise or anything. There's literally no broken ribs. Look right here. I had a broken nose. I had broken ribs. I had bruises all over my body. Bruises on my forearms from trying to defend the blows, like a trip days later to the Bahamas for photo shoots and ocean tubing. So this literally was like a day later. She said it was makeup. She was in the water, like, unless you have waterproof makeup that goes all over your whole freaking body. And she has very fair skin, so if she had a mark on her, you would see it. I mean, she has not one freaking mark, right? All right, so hold on. Then remember she said there was an incident, and then she had the James Corden show? Check this. Here she said she had 2 black eyes when she went to the James Corden show. Here she is that night on the James Corden show with looking fine. I don't see any marks. I mean, she has makeup on, obviously, but like there's no swelling, nothing. And then I have one more. Hold on. I'm trying to think of where I could find it. Amber Heard. She's getting off the plane with Johnny. And right. I know I have them somewhere. Well, anyway, I'll explain it to you. Her and Johnny are getting off the plane. And I probably have it here. Let me look while I'm explaining it to you. They're getting off a plane. He has bruises everywhere. I mean, like, he has this giant bruise along his jaw. He has one, like, right here. And he has a thing wrapped around his finger, like a red wrap around his hand. So it was right after the Gold Coast incident. And she is in a white tee and jeans, not a single mark on her. Like I said, she's very fair, couldn't see anything. And that was after, like, this was after, like, the big fight in Australia, where she claimed he, like, assaulted her with a bottle and all that stuff. She had not one mark on her. Not one mark. I can't find it. Oh well. I think I showed it before. But basically, she looked just like she looks here, but with a t-shirt and jeans on. Yeah, my kid accidentally headbutted my nose last week, and it bled like crazy and was swollen for days. There's no way she went to that thing and it... Like, no way. I think this is such a big deal to everyone, because it's like Johnny pulled, like, the Uno reverse card on her. And she tried to just make it look like he was such a bad person, and here you find out that she was abusing him. Like, how are you even going to act like that when she was abusing him? It just infuriates me. But, yeah, just every time there was an incident. Yeah, if the wind blows on a broken nose, it bleeds. There's no way she went to an event hours later and her nose was absolutely perfect. There's just no way. But anyways, I'm going to hop off because it's getting late. And I have to get up super early because I work on the weekends. But thank you, everyone, for coming. I will definitely be live during the week, during the trial, or, like, maybe after to do a recap. Or, like, during it, we can watch it together. I don't know, one or the other. But it's so sad what she was able to do to Reputation. JD spent decades building. to really accept that men are. Yeah, that's so big too, because I think a lot of women think that it's okay for them to hit men because they're a lot smaller and they feel like they can't do as much damage, but abuse is abuse. You know what I mean? Like, there's no excuse for ever hitting anybody. And she was absolutely an aggressor. And I don't believe in, like, if I can punch somebody, I expect to be punched back. I don't care who it is. Like, you just don't hit people, in my opinion. That's just how I see it. But thank you, Three Boy Mom, for coming. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you for everyone coming. Hope you all have a good night. I'm hopping off. I love you guys. And here, Hulk will say bye too. Bye, Hulk. Bye bye. Here, look. I'll get you a little close of him. There you go. He's the best judgy lizard ever. All right. Good night, guys. See you still cleaning glitter. Thanks for coming. Anyone's still here? Queen Bee, if you're still here, bye. The Danger Zone. Thank you for coming, guys.